Hi, everybody. This is Rick here. I'm looking at how to view my chat outside of the window. Getting set up for a moment. This takes a little bit of practice. Part of the reason I'm doing this, I definitely want to see the chat. There we go. Okay, Sploot, I can see you said woot. The Lil Trance. Hey, Rick, how are you? Lil Trance doing well, thanks. I'm going to go ahead and get started here. There's a bit of delay between me talking and the chat. So I'll check your questions out in a few minutes after I get started here. So anyway, most of you that know me, I'm just a regular guy. I'm not a super high end dev. I'm not a financial manager or something like that in the finance industry. I'm just kind of like a regular guy when it comes to cryptocurrency. So I can kind of speak to the regular guy level, and that's about it. And I just wanted to do a few more videos here on this channel and get some more viewer interaction by giving you guys an opportunity to chat. The only way I can do that is by running a live video. I also have kind of a philosophy that I use with my students, and that philosophy is the only way to get good at doing stuff is by doing stuff. Nobody ever got good at doing stuff by thinking. Nobody ever got good at doing stuff by dreaming. People get good at doing stuff by doing stuff. And I got to tell you, I need a lot of practice. So I'm running this video. So this video, I was going to cover the top three things that piss me off about crypto. And if you really want to get somebody talking, piss them off, but I like to do it in a lighthearted way. I don't like to lean on the negative side, but once in a while, you just gotta get it out there. You just gotta let it out. And so the top three things that piss me off about crypto, I'm going to touch on this weekend is Bitcoin dominance, um, too many shit coins, and trolls. Let me see if there's any feedback from my headset into my microphone. I might have it up a little too loud. Make sure my other audio isn't too loud. Also, should be okay. Let's see here. Okay, no feedback. Uh, the Lil Trance said everyone mispronounced my name. That's okay. You know what? Everybody makes mistakes too. So the three things we're touching on: Bitcoin dominance, too many shit coins, and trolls. And I do make a lot of mistakes. It's just that's the way life is. People who do things make mistakes. So let's start with the Bitcoin dominance. And if you have comments, feel free to chime in on the chat. I'll check back periodically. Like I said, there's a little bit of lag between what I'm seeing and what I'm seeing on the chat. So uh, with Bitcoin dominance, if everyone recalls, if you were involved with Bitcoin in around November and December of 2017, you saw how slow Bitcoin got for conducting transactions. Now, I only mildly got into Bitcoin around 2013, just a very, very small amount. I work hourly wages and I buy crypto paycheck to paycheck. All right. And it was really, really slow. And I was like, wow, this stuff slowed down. How usable is this if it slowed down to that point in around November, December of 2017? There are so many other great coins and great technologies out there, yet Bitcoin still remains just absolute market dominance. And I never do financial advice, but the funny thing I noticed about the market is when Bitcoin goes up, it'll go up strong and alts will go up slightly. Then when Bitcoin goes down, the alts go down strong. And I just go, what? I mean, I'm not scientifically analyzing the market. I just kind of, check the which way the wind is blowing and see how the alts are doing once in a while. Because most people just don't have time to be digging into all those charts. Although there's some really good TA videos out there, like on Crypto Secret Circle. But if you just kinda get a general that's just how it feels. I go, "Why is Bitcoin so dominant?" It ran so slow. There are so many other good coins. Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, although Ethereum's number 2, which I think rightfully so. The technology is so much better, so much faster, and so many more capabilities, and Bitcoin's rather basic. Maybe I'm missing something here, but buying Bitcoin here's, like, my real take. This is my analogy. Buying Bitcoin is like buying a 10-year-old car that's really expensive. But buying Ethereum and Dash and Monero and Bitcoin Cash and Stellar and all these other ones. It's like buying a newer high performance car cheaper. Yet for some reason, that old clunker's still worth a heck of a lot more money. I have no idea why. If you think you know why, please let me know in the comments down below, or in the chat. So that's just my take on Bitcoin dominance. I don't understand it. The crypto market is crazy. I'm not going to beat up on like BSV. I would beat up on Craig Wright though. The guy's a douchebag. But BSV technology might be pretty good. And the only reason I say he's a douchebag, not to be rude, but it's just true. Either he is not Satoshi Nakamoto and he's a douchebag, or he is Satoshi Nakamoto and he's still a douchebag for what. But there's just one more thing that pisses me off. We'll save that conversation for another day. Let me know in the chat what pisses you guys off. A couple of comments are, speak your mind, Rick, spit it all out. I love you, Philpa, all you guys. Either way, all YouTubers do it that do it. Okay, thanks for that. All right, number 2 on the list, too many shitcoins. Okay, too many shitcoins is a very subjective opinion, extremely subjective. It's also a terrible thing to say, but I'm going to say it. There's over 8,000 coins that you can look up. I can go on Blockfolio right now, and there are over 8,000 coins listed. My question is, how many is too many? Now, before I go on to that, let me see if there's any comments on the Bitcoin dominance. Okay. I don't know if my chat is lagging. Yeah, comment from William Umelo on the Bitcoin dominance. He says, I understand BTC is more decentralized, secure, and proven. Oh, I'm glad you brought that up, William. I meant to speak to that. BTC is more decentralized by technology, but when you look at any object or anything in the world, you got to look at the technical, political, and cultural decentralization. Technological decentralization in Bitcoin is very good. The political decentralization is not. There are just too few people who control too few poles control too much of Bitcoin, and a very large number of them are concentrated in China, who is kind of hostile to crypto in some ways, but friendly to crypto in others. However, yeah, the decentralization, I agree with you on the decentralized because of technology. But then what the humans do is they centralize it. There was a study done by IOHK and Professor Aguilas Kiayas where the there was an analysis done why that Bitcoin pools will consolidate over time, which is what happened. So that's probably why that's the case. So on to number 2 on my shit list. Is too many shit coins on my shit list. Okay. So over 8,000 of them out there. And the question is, how many is too many? I don't know. How many is too few? I don't know the answer to that too. Could it be millions of coins? Could it be infinite? I just think it needs to be managed better. If I go on Blockfolio, I can pull up over 8,000 coins to look up. And the reason I bring that up is it's hard to say that having a massive number of tokens at this point in technological development may be okay for now, but we have to figure out how to manage that because let's say grandma, your aunt, your uncle, they want to. Now, the average person out there wants to use a token. Right now, it would be nearly impossible for them to figure out what should they actually use by what do they do with it. So, kind of what I'm getting at here is if you want mass adoption and you also want an unlimited number of tokens, the two can be compatible if it's managed well. Currently, it is not. Like you can't go to Coin Market Cap and make some type of determination based on that and say, okay, here's a 2,000 coins listed on Coin Market Cap. Do my research by following the links to the web links. It's just way too much information for somebody to look up all that information. Let me clear my alerts here. And it's just a lot of information. Ain't nobody got time for that, Sweet Brown would say, to look up all that stuff and say, which token do I pick? Let's say grandma, I'll give you an example. ERC20 tokens and a lot of the lower market cap tokens, They're kind of like coupons. I've made that analogy before and people don't like it, but a coupon is an exchange of value in exchange for a service. It's like a little tiny smart contract. And grandma out there has a pocketbook full of coupons. Most of the coupons come through the mail. They're like junk mail and people throw them in the trash, and that's just what happens. It's just a matter of you got to pick out what coupons you want, what coupons you don't want. The rest of them, you chuck them in the bin. Same thing. But if there's a better way to manage all of those tokens and all of those coins, that would be great. Oh, I see Philippe just chimed in. He said, "Hey Rick, how you doing, Philippe?" All right. Yeah. So if you got any comments, feel free to let me know in the chat if you want to touch on subject number two. If you just dialed in, subject number two was what I called too many shit coins. I'm going to try doing a screen share here. Like I said earlier, the only way to get good at doing stuff is by doing stuff on my too many shit coins comment. This next part is kind of funny. Take this lightheartedly. I don't want to come off like some kind of dick, even though I do sometimes. Screen share, how do I do it? Okay, click on this button, your entire screen. Watch, this thing's gonna blow up in my face. It did, went into infinity and beyond. Okay, let's see how that works. All right, so back to the, too many shitcoin subjects. I can't see chat right now. Yeah, I can't see it. Gotta be a way I could see chat right now. So on the left-hand side, hopefully y'all can see that. I have a tweet I sent out that was kind of done in humor and in jest at the same time. And an hour later, there's a response from Sebastian. And Sebastian and I, we disagree on stuff, and that's perfectly fine. We can disagree. And usually Sebastian's right. So if you ever see me and Sebastian disagree, just go with what he's saying. Um, just kidding. So a while back, I sent out this tweet. I show on the left hand side where I was thinking on the shitcoin situation. I said, "All right, if you were Thanos with all six Infinity Stones, how many cryptos would remain after you snap your fingers?" And if you're familiar with the background on Thanos, he snaps his fingers and makes half the universe disappear. So 93% of people responding to this humorous version of the Twitter poll, and of course, Twitter's non scientific, 93% agree with the top 100 coins, and 7% say 2,000 or more. So, kind of, if you're just having fun with it, or maybe putting your money where your mouth is, people might leave on the top 100, top 30. How do I pick those numbers? There's no rhyme or reason to it. I just kind of took a stab at some groups of numbers and threw them out there on Twitter. Then I took that and formed an opinion, and made it an unlikable opinion. Now, my opinions are malleable, so I mean, don't burn me for saying something like this, but or feel free to burn me if you want. I can take it. But here I say, I think the cryptoverse should concentrate resources on the top 100 and let the remainder die off, a culling, so to speak, at least until we get this right. Space is polluted with shitcoins, not financial advice. So what's funny is this second tweet I made does not necessarily disagree with the first tweet where I did a poll. Now, the rude or the terrible thing I did about this is I'm actually saying get rid of them. Okay. We shouldn't actually get rid of them, but just simply find a better way to manage them. Of course, Sebastian, an hour later, and for a young man, he's a very wise person. And he tweets out, and I just love this, man. Sebastian tweets out, people who wish all coins below rank X die don't realize how connected open source is. Often we see contributions by engineers working for small cap projects and libraries that we use in projects like your Roy Wallet. Another project dies, it's an engineering loss for your project too. You're absolutely right, Sebastian. So the question then becomes, how do we, resolve that? Let me see if I can switch back to video. I don't know if I could switch back to video. Yeah, it looks like I went back to video. Okay. How do we resolve those polar opposites where too many coins could be an issue for the average person to say, how do I pick which one to buy? Yet in the world of engineering, having all those tokens is a very good thing. And it really is. So have a think on that. I mean, that's something worth thinking about. It's kind of like two ends of a spectrum, and both of them are right and both of them are not wrong, but it's a difficult problem that has to be managed. Let me go back over here and see if I can check chat again. Here I am trying to wrestle my way through. Where'd I put my chat? I hope I didn't close it out. This is the fun of playing on YouTube. Is where do you put all your stuff? There's a chat on the side of the window I'm looking at, but there's nothing in it because the chat is over in the web browser. You try pulling it up on an app. Third subject here is oh, too many shitcoins. I was still on that one. So too many shitcoins, 8,000 plus. Do your own research is kind of hard when you get to hundreds of thousands of tokens. Do your own research is going to be kind of difficult. Something to be aware of with developers developing too many tokens is they're kind of they just because they have a website and they made a token doesn't mean that token is well supported. It could simply be one dev with one website. Anybody can make a website. Holy cow, I made a website. Obviously, it can't be that hard, but and some tokens are copy and pastable. You could probably watch a YouTube video and figure out how to deploy an ERC20 or an ERC223. Doesn't mean that token is well supported or has a web page. So something to think about on that. Also, people who are experimenting on the community with their tokens might want to consider. I like to compare things to like the space program and to travel. You know, when the Wright brothers invented aircraft, they didn't test the aircraft on the general population. They had test pilots. So when the aircraft crashed, they crashed and burned, and it might kill the test pilot. They pop out in a parachute. But when you're testing your tokens on the population at large to do an experiment, keep in mind the people that crash and burn are the people who put money into it. So if you do that, you're probably going to piss them off. Something to consider. Why am I having such a hard time getting my chat back up? Let me see if I can get it over here. There we go. I got it on my tablet. Okay, let's see where I'm at on questions for number 2 there. Doltech says no one can stop BTC. I agree. I don't think BTC should be stopped, but I do think it should be supplanted or supported by a better technology that enhances it. I don't know if Lightning Network is that technology. Uh, and also, Deltec says maybe AI in the future. Another comment from the Lil Trance. It says, "Hi, Philippe. Good to see you there." And Philippe says, "Hey." Philippe says, "I agree with your tweet. I agree with your tweet, Rick. If there were thousands of major credit cards, it would be chaos." Absolutely. Uh, regular, regular forms of transaction. Right now, there's 7.1 billion people on planet Earth, and they use cash, credit cards, checks, and coins. There's, I don't know, like 220 major tradable currencies throughout the world. 220 for 7.1 billion people. We have over 8,000 coins for, you know, 1% of the population that's involved in crypto right now. So it's something to think about. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. There's got to be a better way to manage it, though. Doltex also comments, he says, wouldn't those devs on shitcoins move to a more established blockchain so the tech would still come? The answer, I don't know the exact answer, but I think some of the devs, yes. They'll like cut their teeth developing their own, then move on to bigger projects where they can contribute to, maybe the bigger picture. And you always have new devs up and coming, new people learning, and they want to experiment in blockchain. The best way to experiment in blockchain is to build it, is by doing it. So I think there's always going to be a growing supply. The supply of coins and tokens will always continue to grow. It's just a matter of how does the cryptoverse want to manage that. All right. On to the last one. Let me check the time. Okay, it's 9:21 right now, and I did plan on doing about 10 minutes per topic. Let me see if there's any other comments in chat. Okay. Yeah, pulling up chat on my tablet is a much better way than leaving it on my screen because when I go between screen share and back to the live feed, it kind of threw it off on my laptop a little bit. Okay. So the last one was trolls. Now, trolls are kind of funny. we can build up a tolerance for trolls, but the reason I bring up trolls is I've been dealing with social media probably for 15 years, and there just seems to be a lot more trolls in crypto than there are in other subject areas. I don't know if it attracts more or if the competitive nature of crypto invites people or incentivizes people to troll other cryptocurrencies. I think it's kind of funny in some ways, but boy, it really pisses me off in other ways. I think anonymity is a good thing. So someone who's anonymous isn't a troll. Having a good form of anonymity is good, so you can have a good, solid discussion on very critical subjects. However, trolls kind of wreck anonymity because usually they use anonymity to disguise themselves and they don't want to be known because they're a classic troll. And I think it's kind of funny how they tend to collect and trick crypto or there's more. I don't know. Am I wrong? If I'm out to lunch, let me know in the chat. But it does seem like there's a significant number of more trolls. And I'll give you an example. Like on Facebook, you know those people on Facebook, you invited them or you screened them, maybe, maybe not. And they have their name and their picture on there, maybe, maybe not. And you can have a serious debate and discussion without being trolled. And you can at least typically you can have a serious debate because people are accountable for what they say. So instead of attacking emotions, maybe they attack emotions or maybe they say, "Why are you so sensitive?" or something like that. But it doesn't seem to be as bad in other subject areas. But in crypto, it does seem like you get a lot more trolls. And I don't know what it is with people. Maybe they just wake up in the morning. I think it's one of two things. Either they wake up in the morning angry at the world. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Or they think they're smarter than everybody else. That's the only two things I could imagine why you'd have trolls. Maybe the third option is they're a paid troll where they're working for another crypto, or I didn't. I've never seen a confirmed case of that. I've heard of it. I don't know if it's true or not, but I think a lot of trolls just find entertainment in what they do, and therefore they just keep doing it. That's all I got to say about trolls. If I get people can leave comments on my channel that are critical in nature. You can make fun of me because I'm short and fat. I don't care, whatever. But if you just troll for the sake of trolling, I'm gonna block it. I'm just gonna get off the channel. There's no point in leaving it on there. You don't want to give trolls equal footing as normal people. They don't deserve it. That period. That's just a principle in life. Regular people deserve to be heard. Trolls do not. But if you're a regular person who's critical, you're a regular person who's anonymous, you are certainly welcome to comment on any channel or any social media that I deal with. Okay. And that's how most people are because it's not trolling. They go, oh, wow, that's a good point. I learned something from that. You can learn something from the critics, but usually the trolls, you just go, I didn't learn anything from that. I just kind of don't know what side of bed they woke up on this morning. So anyway, those were the three biggest things in crypto that pisses me off. Let me check chat one more time. Anything else on here? Yeah. Got to remember to scroll. William E. Mello says, nobody needs to buy all those cryptos. Okay, so referring back to number two, number two was too many shitcoins. So I'll refer back to um, each of the items I touched on in case anybody just now dialed in. Number two is too many shitcoins. There's 8,000 plus cryptos out there. And William E. Miller says nobody needs to buy all those cryptos. If they want to be successful, they need to figure out how to stand out from the crowd. I found ADA via my own research. Yeah, good point. I did find that via research, via ADA and other people talking. You ever hear people talking? Philippe says the crowd is also younger in crypto. Yeah, good point. It is a young crowd in crypto. He says, I find that a lot of the crypto audience have a skewed perception of the real world. I say that in a respectful manner. If you spend too much time online, that is quite possible as opposed to dealing with people face to face and having to suffer the repercussions of your words. If you do that, you learn what accountability means and you learn you can make your point without disrespecting other people. It's perfectly easy to do. And I think that's where Philippe may have been going with that. Philippe and I see eye to eye on a lot of things, but yeah, it's the skewed perception of the real world is where the trolling come from. And the Lee Trance, I'm wrapping up the episode here shortly. This live in the AMA. If you have any other questions for me about this channel or yeah anything in general, just throw it out there. I did put AMA in the tag, but people like to stay on subject on which is good. So the uh, the Lee Trance. If I'm not getting your name right, let me know how to say it right. About the troll subject states that usually the trolls I come by think they've missed the boat on all of this, so they attack us because of jealousy. Ooh, good point. I think that may be that's a good point right there. That might be another cause of trollism or whatever you want to call it. Very interesting. All right, that's all I have for the top 3 things that piss me off here. I hope this episode comes out okay. I'm gonna learn a little bit from it, get a little bit more practice, and I'll try doing another one of these next weekend. I did a video yesterday that was the, Reddit top 10 review. I'm going to improve that next weekend. I'm gonna try to do one of those every Saturday morning. I'll try to do an AMA every Sunday morning. I do travel a lot. That's just one of the things that comes with the job, and a lot of times I'll move the travel to the weekend so I can work on site during the week when everybody's there. So if I'm on travel, I won't be doing these on a weekend, but on the weekends when I'm at home here in Virginia or once I'm on site wherever I'm working, I'll make sure I get consistent with these, and maybe that will help me boost the YouTube numbers on the channel. I'm very appreciative of all my subscribers. I'm approaching 1,000. I'm thinking about doing a giveaway or some type of incentive to improve the subscriber count, which will improve the video visibility, which will allow people who are searching YouTube to find the videos. So there's like a chain reaction effect. The problem with doing a giveaway is like bots. I was talking to Philippe about this. Um, when you do a giveaway, one person who's really good with bots might activate many bots. So I got to figure out how to compensate for that. I don't need a subscriber count that goes up because of bots, and I don't want to do a giveaway to someone because they know how to run bots. So if anybody knows a good way to execute a giveaway on YouTube, I'm thinking 1,000 ADA for starters, and I'll figure something out. But if you know how to do it well, leave me some comments down below in this video, and I would appreciate your inputs on that idea. I'm gonna go now. It's Sunday. It's getting nice out. I probably have a honeydew list downstairs that I need to get onto. Y'all have a great day. Bye bye.